Good morning, friends. Welcome to week 3 of our all levels breath and pranayama practice group for May. If you can believe it, it feels like November somehow, but it's still May. And we continue moving into the tail end of autumn and into winter proper. When you are ready, please, won't you come to arrive on your belly in MAKRASANA, crocodile pose. Taking your time to arrange yourself so that you feel comfortable. It is suggested that you lie with your big toes together and just let your heels fall away from one another. And for the vast majority of people, this tends to proffer the most amount of space in the lower back. But of course, if your body is asking for a different configuration of the legs, then please do what you need to. And we'll just rest the forehead on top of your stacked hands. And as you arrive, you might give your hips a little bit of a wiggle, just making sure that you are comfortable and well distributed on the earth. And then summon your attention into your belly, noticing how the belly is pressing against the floor. And feeling how the rise and fall of your breath creates a swelling and softening of the belly on the earth. You might begin to slow down and deepen the breath, starting to quite actively expand your belly against the floor. Does this change the movement in the rib cage? No tension or strain, just observation. Allow yourself to become aware of your internal space. In pranayama, we often talk about the kumbha, the pot. And as you arrive here in your MAKRASANA, invite yourself to become aware of that internal pot, that space. The floor of the pot as the pelvic floor. The walls of the container, the internal terrain of the abdomen, the rib cage, and the lid of the container, the tongue, the jaw. At the top of your next inhalation, take a pause. Invite another little top-up sip of air to really fill that internal container. And exhale as slowly as you can. It's not dissimilar to our reset breath. We're just exploring the pattern from a different perspective. A long, smooth inhale as you fill the pot with prana. A pause at the top of the inhale to add a little bit more breath to the pot. And a long, slow exhale as you empty yourself again. As you pause to top up the pot, you might notice areas of tightness, of fascial tug. There's nothing to be done about this right now. We're just observing. And at the end of your next long exhale, very gently press yourself back into child's pose. An extended child's pose with the arms reaching out long in front of you. You might rise up onto the tips of your fingers and creep the arms and hands further forward to invite some more space in the chest and shoulders, allowing the rib cage and the sternum to feel heavy. And take your time to very gently walk your hands back in toward you and come to arrive in an upright seat. As you arrive in your seat, taking a moment to feel into the neck now. You could visualize the neck as well as the neck of your pot or your container. Just notice how your neck is feeling after a night spent resting on your pillow. Opening and closing into the jaw, feeling how the mouth has arrived. Moving into our 3-phase maneuver, please make a fist with your left hand and plug that underneath your chin. Anchor the chin down quite firmly, but keep the collarbones lifting brightly, and take your right hand and just plug it at the occiput. So not the neck and not the back of the head, that lovely curve of the skull. Keeping the shoulders relaxed and the breath moving. We're holding this maneuver now. Keep the chin pushing down, the chest lifting up, and now push your head against the right hand, as though you are attempting to retract the skull, to draw it up and back. You're just allowing that right hand to catch the movement as you bring some conversation into the back of the neck, the base of the skull. You might even feel this down lower between the shoulder blades. Now, when you're ready, gently releasing the arms, moving straight into our silent scream, now making a fist with the right hand. Pop that underneath your chin. The right fist is driving up as the chin anchors down, so that we are eliciting a sense of co-activation of the muscles in the neck. Not aggravation, just activation. And now open your mouth as wide as you can and stay with this. The fist driving up, the chin anchored down, the mouth open wide. Long, smooth breaths. And gently releasing your right fist now. As we move into our tongue circles, please establish your gaze on something in front of you that's not going to move. And the idea with your tongue circles is that we're keeping the eyes still, but we're also trying to keep the jaw still. So take your 10 slow circles with the tip of your tongue along the inside of your lips like this. Trying to keep the jaw still, keep the eyes still. 10 slow circles one way, and then another 10 circles in the opposite direction. If you have any vulnerabilities or misalignments in the neck, this can show up as some difficulty in the tongue circles. Persevere. And when you have completed your 20 circles in total, then move straight into your JIVHA BANDHA, sealing the tongue against the roof of the mouth and suctioning it there gently. Then opening the lower jaw slowly, keeping the tongue nestled against the roof of the mouth. For those of you already well versed and familiar with your JIVHA BANDHA, you can add another layer of subtlety by gently tipping the chin up as you open the lower jaw, and have a little experiment, a little play with the angle of your chin in space, stretching through the platysma, the scalenes, the delicate muscles at the front of the throat and the jaw. Letting that go now as we come to settle for our breath, feeling that your seat is steady and easeful. So taking this opportunity to grab any props that you think you might require. Closing down the eyes and exhale slowly. Moving into our reset breath, take an inhale through the nose. Take a second top up inhale through the nose. Filling the pot, and now exhale slowly through the mouth. Maybe pursing the lips or even humming or sighing, vocalizing the exhale again. Big nasal inhale. Second top up inhale, fill that internal container, and now exhale slowly through the mouth. Maybe with a hum or a sigh. And take 3 more rounds of your reset breath, please, on your own. Remaining curious about that internal space that you sense the air filling. Noticing the shift in internal pressure through the abdomen. When you are ready, bring your tongue to rest against the roof of the mouth and come to meet your breath. Moving your breath slowly and smoothly in and out through the nose. Allowing your attention to settle within the channels of the nostrils. As you make a connection with the breath. Physiologically, the nose is important as that is our apparatus for breathing. But energetically, the nostrils are our access points to the nadis, the subtle channels through which prana flows. You might notice the air entering your nostrils feels slightly cool. The air exiting the nostrils might have a warmer feeling. Invite yourself to soften through the face, neck, and shoulders. And now very gently begin to invoke your ujjayi with a very subtle hug of your windpipe. toward the back of the throat. Allowing your breath to take on some texture and tone. Continue to remain curious and attentive, listening to the sound of the breath and feeling into the sensations. Noticing the inhale filling your internal space. Feeling the walls of the pot respond to the increasing pressure. And noticing how the exhalation is accompanied by a feeling of emptying, softening. Begin now to take notice of how long your breath is. Counting a few consecutive cycles of breath. And once you have ascertained how long your inhalation is, then bring your exhalation up to meet it, settling into your SAMAVRITTI 1. Allow your mental energy to become anchored in the count. And keep the borders of the breath, the boundary between the inhale and the exhale, very smooth. Allow yourself to settle here. A simple, steady rise and fall. A balanced movement of prana and apana. The inward, upward movement of energy on the inhalation. The downward, emptying, grounding feeling of the exhalation. Moving into your Samavritti 2 now, your box breathing pattern. Adding a pause at the end of the inhale and another at the end of the exhale. Keeping each of the 4 sides of the breath steady and even. And allow yourself to become curious as to the different qualities of each of the 4 sides of the breath. Feeling your internal landscape fill and swell as you inhale, the pot filling, that space of fullness and containment at the top of the inhale. The sensation of emptying as you exhale. And the peaceful, empty space at the end of the exhale. Stay with this. Simple, steady, sincere. And at the end of your next exhalation, let go of that pattern. Allow your breath to return to its natural state and take a moment to rest, to receive. In a moment, we will move into a very gentle exploration of our kumbhaka, our retention after exhalation. It is very important that the succeeding inhale after the pause is very calm and very relaxed. And so the onus is on us to be in the space after exhale for as long as we can without tension or strain. There will be some discomfort as the chemoreceptors in your brainstem start to alert you to the rising carbon dioxide levels in the bloodstream. Remain calm even as the discomfort rises. And when you feel that mild discomfort beginning to turn into tension, then take your next calm inhale and your next calm exhale. Before we begin, please re-establish your ujjayi breath. You might re-establish your Samavritti 1 cadence. Settling back into the rhythm that you have already established for yourself today. Once you feel well established in your Samavritti 1 and your Ujjayi technique, begin to pick up this new ratio, this new rhythm. At the end of your exhale, take a pause. Gently swallow to seal the tongue against the roof of the mouth. And wait. And watch. Allow yourself to meet the mild discomfort as it begins to arise. And simply witness without reaction. And when you sense the time is right for you, take your next very calm Ujjayi inhale. Use your Samavritti 1 rhythm. Your next calm Ujjayi exhale. And then wait and watch. Continue this pattern on your own. If you sense any overwhelm or tension, you might cleanse the pranic palate with a few rounds of your reset breath, or even take Shavasana if you feel very overwhelmed. But then come back, rejoin the practice. Stay with this. Invite yourself to occupy the empty space after exhalation with curiosity. Take one more round of this pattern. And at the end of this round, once more, allow your breath to return to its natural state. And take a moment to witness the space that this pattern has created. Please take 3 rounds of your reset breath, reawakening and inflating the alveoli in the lungs and blowing off any excess carbon dioxide. Then move back into your Ujjayi technique, your Samavritti 1 rhythm. Are you maybe able to extend the length of the inhale and the exhale by just 1 or 2 counts? Maintaining the Samavritti 1 cadence now as we overlay our Nadi Shodhana pattern. You may choose to simply take attention from one nostril to the other, or use your dominant hand to gently seal the nostrils as you work. Maybe resting the elbow of the working hand just in the opposite hand, like a shelf, to protect the shoulders from tension. At the end of your next exhale, bring attention to the left nostril and inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. This is 1 round. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. 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 Please continue this pattern on your own. The steady rhythm and count of your Samavritti 1. The smooth texture of your Ujjayi breath. The attention shifting from nostril to nostril. At the end of your next exhale through the left nostril, let go of your NADI SODHANA, the VRITTI, and the Ujjayi. Breathing quietly, naturally. Observing how you have arrived here in this moment. Please take your time now to make your way onto your back for your Shavasana. Try to move in a way that doesn't disrupt the space that you've created. And come to settle quickly, efficiently. As you arrive on your back, once you are comfortable, the invitation this morning during our Shavasana is to work with a rhythm, a cadence of breath, where you inhale for 4 counts, pause at the top of the inhale for 5 counts, and exhale for 6 counts. No Ujjayi technique, just a natural breath, but working with a 4, 5, 6 cadence. Rest here in this rhythm until the sound of my voice summons you back. At the end of your next long exhale, let go of that pattern. Invite some very gentle movements into your fingers and toes. And take a yawn and a stretch. Moving carefully, gently roll onto your favorite side now. And take a moment before carefully curling your way to an upright seat. As you arrive in your seat, taking one more opportunity here to notice how you have arrived. Examining the interior space. Floating your palms to meet one another in front of your heart, or if you prefer, just land one hand on your chest and the other against your belly. As we close our session together, as always, with gratitude and acknowledgement, offering our thanks for the gift of this day, our lives and our health, and extending our respects and acknowledgements to one another and to the custodians of this living tradition. As always, my very sincere respect and gratitude to all of you. I hope that you will go outside for 10 minutes after practice as that sun begins to rise. Take that light in through the eyes and align well. Thank you, my beautiful friends. Lots of love to you all. Let me know if you've got any questions. I'll see you next time. Bye.